Hey Jay, you're a little bit smaller than I remember from last time. All right, if you can't tell, everybody, this is not Jay. This is Sideshot, sitting in for Jay, who's on assignment.
Hello.
And Sideshot wanted to talk about Ford's new F-150 Lightning. So we're going to do a little segment on some features and some things that an EV fan thinks are cool. And I got to tell you, like, Jay and I have talked ad nauseum about the Rivian, about some of the Lordstown stuff, some of the Cadillac stuff. Not too impressed with this one. Like, it's, yeah, but we'll see. Maybe you can change my mind, right? So stick around. Coming up. Ford just recently announced the F-150 Lightning. It's their all-electric pickup. They did a big premiere event. They streamed it. I think did you see it?
I didn't get to see the premiere, but I saw the countdown, and they made a really big deal about it, and they even had like links all over their website. They were like, "Come check out our live reveal of the new F-150 Lightning."
So I guess from my perspective, you know, I'm comparing this to what else has already been publicized. Probably number one at that list is the Rivian R1T.
Yes.
Then, of course, Tesla's got their Cybertruck. Lordstown's working on one. There's a lot of folks right now working on electric trucks. This, to me, I'm looking for you to kind of change my mind here because I was not that wowed by it. I mean, it has some neat things, but it's kind of just Ford going me too. So where am I wrong about that?
So there's a lot of cool things about this truck, and first of all, I think the styling looks a lot better. Like the front light, you can't see individual like LEDs in it, and especially on a few of the trims, the light runs all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this looks very nice. That frunk, that 400 pounds you can put in there.
Yeah.
And that looks big. It may not be like that big, but that's probably the one of the biggest things I've seen as a front.
It is pretty impressive. So let's go back to the styling for just a minute. So I guess I had an expectation that they were going to make this look very different than their other pickup trucks. And it's really very similar. Like, you can look at that truck, not know it's electric, and go, oh yeah, that's a Ford F-150.
And they want you to do that.
Why?
Because, well, they're thinking a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, that's electric. It's not an F-150 anymore. They want you to still know this is still like a real deal F-150.
So they're using their brand to lend credibility to
Yes.
the truck. All right. So you like the frunk. You're okay with the styling. Now you're a fan
I
of.
really like it.
And
I
that's
really
interesting
like
to
it.
me because you're a fan of the Rivian, right? What are some of the other electric vehicles that you like?
There's not a lot of things that really look this good. Like, I mean, the Rivian, that's kind of the only thing I can think of for me that looks this nice, and you can still tell it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like a truck, which is that instead of being just a regular electric vehicle,
Yeah.
that's like saying this is an F-150, this is one of our trucks. And it looks really great.
So it's going to be quick. We know that. The thing that I always have a concern over with electric trucks is they show you a lot of commercials where the trucks are towing something, and Rivian's done it too, and they've all, okay. The problem, though, is that that's going to affect your range. And now I do know that they've built into this truck. Let's see if I can.
have.
And did you know about this?
Yes, I did.
That it's an on-the-fly range adjustment tool based on your payload and what you're towing.
That is very. They're saying it's very smart, and what I've seen, it is very smart. Can tell, like, from how fast you're driving, and if you're always driving like 3 miles and over the speed limit, it'll calculate that in. It'll be like, okay, you also have to stop here to charge, and if you're gonna be going that fast, you'll get here like an hour quicker.
Mm-hmm.
That is very impressive. It seems like very advanced, and it seems like they've done a really good job with that.
So did you know in the gasoline version of the current F-150, they now have scales built in, smart tow capabilities?
Yes, I did.
It's looking like that they're going to use some of that same technology in the Lightning version, which is pretty cool from a towing capability. So if I'm on the fence and I'm thinking about maybe I want a Rivian and now I've got this F-150 to consider, let's say that's you. Which one would you lean toward?
That is very hard. You know, those are so close. For me, it would depend on like what you want from it. But maybe like you, if you go off-roading a lot, maybe like the Rivian.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're really looking for like something for work, I might say like the F-150, because that they are known. It's Ford built tough.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite things about this truck?
So like I was saying, it has all that technology. Like it can calculate your route, like when you're gonna get there. It knows if you're towing something. This looks really great, and it's going to have Blue Cruise. Okay,
I don't know anything about that. Or let's assume I don't know anything about it. Do you know much about it?
So, yes, so far, they're working on getting it in the Mach-E.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is, you know, like Cadillac Super Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Ford Mach-E, those sensors in the steering wheel, just like Super Cruise, they watch your eyes, and you can, just like Cadillac Super Cruise, if you take your eyes off the road, it stops, and it works only on highways, just like Cadillac Super Cruise, and they're definitely going after them with that.
Now, wait a minute. So you just said Blue Cruise only works on the highway? So I can't use it like a Tesla to drive me around town?
No, you can't use it. It won't, like, take you through town. It's not gonna turn, like, right onto a different street for you. It's definitely targeted after Super Cruise, and it's just for the highways when you're driving, and it's actually really good. You can just sit there for a long time and not do much until you have to take like an exit or something.
So, okay, what else? Any other thoughts?
This just looks really nice. I just like all that technology is really nice. And I think they are going to really get somewhere with this. This is a really good idea. I like it. It was a smart decision to make this. I'm just really liking all the features that it has.
Okay. And right now they're looking to be the price leader. If
They definitely will be.
Introductory price on this is around $40,000 in the United States.
But if you get the extended range for $300, that is $10,000 more at $49,000.
Yeah, it's not a real price. By the time you get some
Yeah.
stuff on that truck that you're going to want, it's going to be a little more. But still, that Rivian is quite a bit more. So do you think now? Here's another. So this truck is not going to be available for roughly another year, to actually get one, right?
Yes.
So how much of a factor is that compared to Rivian saying next month they're going to basically start delivering some of theirs?
So that will probably make a few people, well, not just a few, but lots of people who have the money and they're just looking for something they want.
Mm-hmm.
They might be like, well, I just want this sooner. This does a lot of the same things. I'm just gonna go with the Rivian. So that's they really should have done this earlier, but it's still a good time when it's coming out. If it would have come out in 5 years, this would have looked so old and it would have looked bad. And just a few years ago, this would have been amazing because nobody would have had it out. But right now, or just a year from now, is a pretty good time to get it. Although that still might make Rivian getting theirs out next month. That's probably gonna make people be like, I don't really want to wait for this. I think I'm just gonna get one of those Rivians.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just touch on one other thing here, and this is the charging situation. And we have estimates at this point to go on that Ford has given us. We don't know for sure that these are going to be actual numbers. They may change a little bit. But how smart would it be of Ford to put a charging station or two at every Ford dealer across the United States? Because, look, there are so many of them, right?
There are so many dealers. I see so many of them. That would be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good idea.
You heard it here first. So here's the estimated charging range. And this is now the standard range battery pack is 230 miles in range is what they're targeting. And then there's the extended range battery pack, which is 300 miles. Okay. So your typical from 15% to 100% charge. Okay. So all the numbers that Ford are giving us are taking the vehicle from 15% to 100% charge. All right, so the 32 amp mobile charger. So this is their portable charger, and they're saying that on the standard range it'll take 14 hours to charge it up, and on the extended range, because it's a bigger battery, it'll take 19 hours. Now the one that you would have at home, for example on the wall in your garage, that's their 48 amp Ford connected charge station. So that's kind of if you think about a dryer, an electric dryer, a clothes dryer,
Yeah.
It's going to pull about the same amount of power. So that's a 10-hour charge on their standard range and a 13-hour charge on the extended range. So it's barely overnight. I mean, if you get home at 5 or 6 p.m. and you plug it in, it'll be ready to go in the morning.
Yeah.
But how many times are you going to have that battery down to 15%, I guess, right? Then they have a Ford Charge Station Pro, and they're saying that it's basically the same on the standard range. It's 10 hours. But on the extended range, it will charge that thing in 8 hours. Okay? Because they have to slow down as they get close to 100% capacity to prevent damaging the battery. And then, of course, they have a fast charging station. Now, this is what I'm saying they would really benefit from if they put these at Ford dealers, and people would pay for it, I think.
Yes.
This is their 150 kilowatt DC fast charging. Again, 15%, but this time only up to 80%, 44 minutes. And I would imagine that if you take it up to 100%, that time is going to extend quite a bit, because remember that last 20% you can't charge as quickly because it'll damage the battery. So you have to slow the charge rate down a little bit. So 44 minutes on the standard range with their fast charging station, 41 minutes on the extended range. Well, why is that? Why is that so? Well, because, again, with the extended range, it's a bigger battery pack. You're charging that middle area. You're charging from 15 to 80%, and they can hammer through that. Whereas on the smaller battery, you're getting close to the top end of the battery. You have to slow down a little bit. So it's actually, they're projecting that it's going to be faster on the extended range battery at their fastest charging station.
Well, and they're saying like 15%. A lot of times, and so many people have Teslas that you see this everywhere. They'll be like taking a road trip, and you'll have like 2 or 3%, sometimes even 1% when you get there. So it might turn into.
That makes me nervous.
Like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
That happens. A lot of people refill at about a quarter of a tank.
Yeah.
And that's 50 miles, 60 miles.
Yeah. I think with
Probably a little
EVs, you
bit
get into the
more.
habit of topping off a little more.
Yeah. You start fully emptying it, and then you fill it or charge it all the way up. It
All right.
happens a lot.
So last question, and then we'll close this out. If you're going to make a decision on buying, you want an EV, you want a truck, do you wait a year for this one? Or do you go after what's going to be available before then?
Would money matter?
It could to some people.
I'd say I would wait for that good price.
Yeah.
That's a really good price.
Okay. All right. Well, that pretty much answers all my questions. So, do you know what to do from here, right? You want to tell people what to do?
Okay. Make sure you hit the red subscribe button, make it gray, click the like button on every one of our videos you watch, and
What if you're not in them? Can they still click the like button?
yeah,
Okay.
always,
All right.
always. And the bell, click the bell and make sure it says all, so you will always get notifications when we post.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you so much.